Oh, okay. I guess it went live as I was updating stuff, so cool. This is day one of the Toby Fox Music Composition Challenge. I don't know what to expect from this one. This is kind of just a test the waters sort of day, so gonna see how it goes, see what we accomplish. Yeah, earlier today, before starting this stream, I started looking at Toby Fox pieces that I really liked and dissected them a little bit of what I liked about them, the form, the keys, signatures, the BPMs, and tried to find any sort of correlations between them. So let's just dig into it, shall we? We're loading up FL Studio here. I also downloaded some sound fonts, and we're just gonna kind of play around with them and see where it takes us, shall we? Let's do the Mother 3 sound font for now. And we're starting with the melody and trying to just kind of find anything that will suffice for now. If I click into here. Sure. Kind of synthy, kind of fun. Cool. So before we dig into that, what I'm going to start with is the BPM. So looking at some of the tracks from Toby, the pieces that I liked, a lot of the battle themes, I think I'm going to go with a battle theme of some sort. At least that's my idea right now. I'm seeing a lot of 4/4 time signatures, and I'm seeing at least two tracks that stuck out to me, Pedal Dance and Sunset of Seven Suns, were hovering around the 120 BPM range. I might want to go to 125 personally, start there and see what happens. And I think we'll kind of just start with defining a rhythm and go from there. Before we go into rhythm, I also want to pick a scale. Kind of what I've noticed in a lot of Toby's tracks is he's a big fan of, I believe, B flat major or G minor, the relative minor. I've also seen some C minor, C sharp minor, G minor again, and then switching to B flat major. So I might start with B flat major for now and see if I like the sound of that, because honestly I have not worked in that major key for B flat. So let's go there. Technically it would be A sharp. In this at least. Okay, cool. So now with the scale highlighting, that's one, or there, and all these lighter gray notes are the scale. So that's super helpful. Yeah, so let's keep digging into this. The thing that Toby also likes to do is, as everyone knows, his leitmotifs, his kind of smaller 3 to 5 note phrases, and does like about 2 or 3 of those and repeats them and develops them, which is super, super cool. I would love to get better at that. And he always finds like such a cool way to make them so simple, repeated enough that it's, you know, ingrained in your brain, but not so much to the point that it's just monotonous. And I think a really successful thing about that is the rhythm itself underneath the melody is usually pretty catchy, pretty bouncy, pretty fun, pretty full of life. There are definitely exceptions where it's just also a nice sounding melody on top of some really cool chords that he also likes to throw in there too. So there's a bit of that as well. But I think for now we should start with something that's rhythm based. So that way if the rhythm's good, then once we put pitches on top of it, it'll sound even better. So I'm just going to start with the root note, keep things simple. And I'm actually going to put on, I'll do quarter beat. So that way, if I look at it, zoom in just for one beat, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4/4 time, dividing it up into 16th notes. Because I feel like I want something, if it's going to be a battle, if it's going to be a battle, it's got to be fun, it's got to be energetic, and I'm a fan of 16th notes as a drummer myself. Adding embellishments and little trills and things will just make it feel a lot more lively. So yeah, I think we'll just kind of start digging into it here. I don't really have any huge ideas in mind, so we're just gonna kind of play around and see what sounds good as just a rhythm. And I just got to keep motifs in mind. So a motif can be a full bar, a motif can be only partially filling the bar, and it can be repeated over the bar, which is really cool. So there's unlimited things to kind of do here, which is overwhelming, but at the same time really exciting. I think one of the cool things Toby does too is sometimes he starts a melody not on the downbeat of 1. That could be interesting. I could save that for a different idea. I think what's more interesting to me right now, and hopefully the metronome doesn't pierce your ears. If we're going with a pulse like that, we can just literally loop this. We could. So that way I can just keep listening to it over and over again and make sure the rhythm sounds interesting. So we could do like do, 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 do. That's already sounding kind of cool. That could be something. That's a fun motif. I could literally copy and paste that. Oop. Right, because I am on a loop here. I could also shift it forward. Ooh. Getting into some 1E's. That could be fun. Or I could push it. Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah. How does that sound as a 2-bar loop? Yeah, I'm trying to find like a good balance of groove, but also leaving a lot of space. Because something that I struggle with a lot with writing melodies is I don't leave a lot of space because I want the melody to be the most interesting part. But space is just as important as the notes that you do play. Or another way to phrase it, the things that you don't play are just as important as the things that you do play. And I think, it's already kind of having like a good jumpy balance to it where it's hitting a lot of syncopated beats, hitting some downbeats like on the 3 and the 1. So thinking as a drummer, kick drum, bass drum, it's usually on 1 3. That's laying down the foundation. The snare 2 and 4, but snares can also be syncopated. No different with this melody. It's kind of already got some vibes where it's got some foundational things, and then when we shift it in the second one, you know, then the 2 and also the 3, interestingly, are hitting on the downbeats, which is kind of cool, but it's accenting kind of the upbeat here. Yeah, so thinking compositionally too, Toby would kind of take this motif idea and he would kind of play it by itself for the first measure, first 4 bars or something, let's say, just so we have an understanding of what the motifs are, what the rhythm is, understand it before he starts layering more and more things on top of it and underneath it. So I think that's pretty cool. I can keep experimenting too with other ideas. The other thing too is that I don't want it to just be one melodic idea. I'd like to also make it 2, I think. I like this short, long, short, short, long, long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know it's 6 notes. These 2 are kind of filler notes. I mean, you could almost just have it be that, which is, it's got more space for sure. I kind of like it there, but also kind of like this having more space actually. And I don't know if I want it legato. Yeah. So that's already kind of a variation on the motif already. I removed a 16th note, made it an 8th note, and I'm messing around with the length of the note as well. So even though it's already starting to sound different, the base of it is still the same, which is really cool. That's kind of awesome. I was not expecting to like something already. What else? What else could we think of too? Is just like a secondary motif on top of it, or after it. I could honestly like put this, you know, like as this idea happens here or something, or here, and idea 2 happens here and here, which could be interesting. So it further separates the similarities. But let's keep them next to each other for now. I just talked about how motifs sometimes don't end on the 1, and we kind of already did that. So maybe I'll keep it on the 1. Maybe we do, so we did short, long. We could do long, short. We could keep it short, long, but change the duration. We could try. Dun, dun, dun. Right. I always forget about this. Yeah, see, that one's not as bouncy to me. And, you know, secondary motifs can have space, so it's not the end of the world. But maybe we do like short, short, short. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Maybe it's like dun 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 dun. Dun. when it goes over the bar. That is fun. 1, 2, 3. Like, I'm also thinking about contrast within the motifs themselves. I don't want to just do the same bounciness that this first idea has. I want something to kind of ground it, to contrast it a little bit. Instead of... Ooh. Doot, 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 doot. Kind of like this. Doot, doot. Or like... Doot, 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 doot. Sounds almost like... Sounds like a dance club thing. Do, do, do. Maybe this could be like a secondary. Yeah, I don't know. I like the sound of it, but there's a lot of space happening here that it kind of throws it off because this is already like ending on the E. Dun, dun. And then what if we... Kind of loses some of the... I guess that's kind of what it sounds like, a bossa nova thing. I think that's why I'm liking it. Yeah, it's kind of upbeat. Yeah, it just sounds kind of too different right now. So, while it's a cool idea, don't think it's appropriate for this. I think because this is there, unless it wants to go over the bar here. It almost sounds like... It's like, I don't know if I want it to start on the 1 or start on the and of 1, because that's kind of fun. I could hear both. What if... Oh, I don't know. What if it went over the bar like this, and then like 8th note, 8th note, 16th, 16th. shift those all over. And then what if this then shifts again to do this? Truncate it by, or just like simple removal. On like the and of 3. That kind of sounds similar to what we kind of had in the beginning. So that's something. Yeah, it's fun. This whole fourth bar only is on the downbeat of 1. That's kind of cool. Could also make it 2/8 notes there. So that's something. That's one thing. I think the second thing would be to take these ideas and move them around. So I'm going to keep it as is. Keep it as is on this row and copy paste here so I can move it around and not worry about, oh, where did I put that and where did that go before? So like if I move this, let's say like I wanted this piece to be where this guy was, or even like here or here. I can start playing with that. So this started on the and. I like how it started on the and, so I want to keep that. And then now these notes overlap, so maybe it does that instead. Yeah, so that option doesn't work super well. What if we swap, or what if I move it forward? Leaves a lot of space here, so maybe shift that. It's something. I still feel like this one was rhythmically more interesting to me. Maybe something like that. That's kind of cool. That's like a, again, thinking about it with my drumming brain, feels like a cool drum fill to kind of bring the whole thing across. And that way, yeah, that feels kind of nice. Kind of like puts a bow on how that whole thing's kind of syncopated, and then gives you a little bit of space to breathe, and then boom, right back into it. Like, let's listen to this if I put it in again. Okay, it's something. It's something. Oop. Feels like the middle section's still a little weak to me. Like there's something there that could be worked on. Maybe it just needs to be shorter. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just like it starting on the and having that same space. Maybe that's the thing that kind of repeats, is this space. That's kind of cool. That's a pretty good start, I'd say. And then the thing that I like to do, so I think this personally to me felt a little stronger. Actually, you know what? What I might do is, so rename this melody idea 1, and then clone it. And yeah. Just keep it here for now, in the back pocket. Let's do that. And make the last bit a little different and like kind of hold some longer notes maybe. Doom, doom, doom. Yeah. That sounds cool. I'd go with that for now. Yeah. Or what does this sound like? Nah. Go with that. Okay. So while I do like making these things, with my own ideas in mind, I would like to go back through some ideas from Toby just to make sure I'm on the right track of, like, this is kind of sounding like something he would make. So I'm just going to pull up Spotify. I only have the stream playing FL Studio, so probably won't be able to hear what I'm listening to, but I just want to hear the Chapter 5 soundtrack again and see. Yeah. Let's listen to Pedal Dance. Yeah, it's very bouncy. And then he has like a separate idea that's a lot more longer notes, legato. Same with Sunset of Seven Suns. It's very simple. Yeah, it's all super simple stuff. I might be making this too complicated. Yeah, so probably, yeah, that's a solid idea. I'll take it. Gonna have to do more in-depth form steadying, I think, on some of the songs that I want to replicate, but I think for this track, with such a bouncy sort of melody that's going on, I want to start the song with just the melody, maybe some drums, and then once it's been established, start creating variations and other layers to it. Because, yeah, well, I do like this. I do like it. I sometimes do get into my head a little bit on making things complicated. So I would like to still take from Toby's genius ideas of making things only a few notes long, but having doing a lot with them. So, yeah, I'll think about it some more. One melody idea in 35 minutes that I like. Not bad. Yeah, so like this would be the intro. Intro. This would be like a section, let's call it. And it would just kind of like keep building and building until, you know, there's another section where it kind of like drops maybe, and a different idea gets introduced, a new motif and melody. That would be interesting. Let's see. I did take some notes on form. Yeah, like certain songs he also likes to start with the bass line, which could be kind of cool. So this doesn't necessarily have to be the first thing you hear, but we'll stick with that for now. And there's usually like the chorus or the meaty part of the section after it has some time to layer up. And then there's the more legato secondary idea that's kind of like the bigger emotional section. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe like here could be the B section. Small. Something. I don't know. And we had this go for 2 bars, so let's just have this go for 2 bars right now. B section. And then this is the other thing too that I gotta keep in mind is Toby songs. Maybe that's too long. I'm at 125 beats per minute. A lot of Toby songs that I looked at, they can range from like 2 minutes to almost 3 minutes, to some of them like Flower Castle being 4.5 minutes. And I think I don't want to go further than 3 minutes, which would be like here. 3 minutes and 4. I would call this like loop or something if I wanted to loop. So basically that way I know from here to here, that's how many measures I'm working with, which is 96 measures. Because I wanted to have enough space to develop and breathe and do the Toby thing where things start clicking together, and then towards the end everything that's already been established in the song kind of comes together really nicely. So that would be cool to do. So with that in mind, let's see what happens. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 measures of A section. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 measures again and see what that leaves me with. So loop is here. That leaves me 4 measures. So I could do, right, because I got, oh, why did that move over there? And let's delete that marker, because I added 2 here and 2 here, which takes away from the 4 to the end. So the ending, I can just call this outro for now, would be 4 measures. And 1, 2, 3, 4, this could be like, let's call this the climax. A plus B, question mark. That way it gets 4 measures. Could also go into the outro. This could be like a quiet 4 measure section that loops back into the beginning. I think that's doable for now. So that way this establishes I need at least 2 ideas. I've got the A section idea for the melody and a B section idea. And then combine these ideas, create some variations on them. If I want to do an outro, I can do an outro. If not, I could literally just extend the climax to be 8 measures long. So, yeah. I could also shorten it if I think, listening to the A section for a minute starts to get long. But that's what variation's for, I guess, right? So, let's see. Coming back to this. Actually, before I get into that, let's actually call this section A. I don't need the 2 double lines. Section A. Call this section A. Melody idea number 1. Now I can create a B section, which I meant to do clone. Let's call this B section. And no, we're not going to have a C section yet. We'll see. We shall see. So we've got this kind of rhythm. Now let's do like a longer rhythm. Like we were doing a lot of staccato mixed with legato, mixed with space, mixed with syncopation. What if this B section, it wants to be more emotional. Something longer? Something longer that carries some sort of weight to it that would could be yeah. I know Toby sometimes does like a do something like this. I don't know. Sometimes just like a simple, like 1, 2, 3, 4. And then just like long, short, short. Or it could just be quarter notes. this could be the long note. 2, 3, 4. But again, that's all on downbeats. It sounds a little boring. If it was faster, maybe it could be fine. But something in that realm where it's giving space for the emotion to carry through. And counter melodies can also like fit more of this, like more legato vibe too. So, And I just talked about. Yeah, that's more of like a counter melody. Might have to go looking for some inspiration from Toby's stuff. It's literally twice as fast. This could be like a fourth bar thing. What if I like the bass of this? Like the held note is still syncopated. I think that's successful. I think that's what I like about this. something like that. Dun dun. Dun dun. Dun dun dun. So that way there's a little contrast of like dun 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 dun. That's interesting. I like that. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. Dun, dun. Like something to change here. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, just something to spice up the ending a little bit while it loops. That could be interesting. And then what happens? This will be the fun, interesting part. Let's put both of these. Let's put them at different octaves, maybe. Just like as a quick test. Maybe since A was first, it can go higher. That's kind of cool, not gonna lie. So 1, 2, 3. Interesting. Or maybe this could be lower. You know, those aren't terrible together. Those are pretty snazzy. That's kind of fun. And this is just kind of, sorry, kind of all over the place. All right. Let's call this loop/end. End there at 3 minutes. And then, let's see, this is when more things would start to happen. Yeah, I think that makes sense. You get to hear it 4 times. I mean, you'd hear it 5 times technically. And something else changes here. This slower B section, maybe it makes sense that this one's shorter because It's way more digestible. Could be something. Yeah, and then this idea happens twice, and then it could literally just do that. Look at that, guys. Freaking 2 ideas, got a whole song. 2 kind of ideas, with smaller ideas in the middle, but that's kind of what we're working with, I think. At least to start. I'll definitely be posting in the community, like in the Best Music Coach community. I'll be sending updates along to them so I can make sure I'm on the right track of what could be a cool melody. Yeah, I think this is pretty sick. I'm liking it. I am actually really surprised. I thought this would be like a whole testing and failing and scrounging up different ideas type thing, but it's honestly pretty solid. I think the next step then would be to follow Toby's ideas and start adding counter melodies, variations. I think variations would probably come first before counter melody, but I could be wrong. See what sticks. But yeah, that's been pretty cool. The other thing that I'm keeping in the back of my mind too is I kind of already have a chord progression that I like, and it's from, I don't know if I want to give it away, but I'll give it away. From Flower Castle, I really liked the chord progression in that, so I'm going to dissect that and see if I can. I'll still build the melody first. Right now I'm just focusing on the rhythm, but I want to build the melody out and then start figuring out the chords for Flower Castle, and if those chords fit with the melody. If not, I'll fit the melody to it a little bit more, or I could change the chords, honestly. But I've remembered liking that chord progression a lot, so that could be cool. Yeah, I think started with a cool rhythm. Maybe before calling it a day, I'll mess around with pitches now, since that's the other part of the melody, is the pitches and the pattern of the rhythm. So, and the rhythm is just a pattern of notes in a certain amount of time. So I think that's been pretty good already. Maybe now it's time to just dig into finding the right notes that this wants to be. This could go anywhere. So I know with Toby, he writes some crazy stuff, man. He can be all over the place, but something that I do a lot in my music writing, which maybe Toby also kind of does, is doing a lot of question and answer, consequent and antecedent and consequent. And usually, so in like the case of B flat major here, this could be looking like that could be, this last note could be the question, like here, and then this would be the answer, or this would be the answer, ending on a home tone like either 3 or 1. I know a lot of Toby's songs, though, he likes to hammer home the root note a lot sometimes. Like especially with the Freedom leitmotif, or I think that's the second, but anyway, regardless, there's a lot of notes that he likes to hammer on. Some of them have big intervals, some of them don't. If I go to Sunset of Seven Suns, like he always ends on that, which does sound very dramatic, thematic, adventurous. I'll start with something and then see if I can frame it into Toby's world a little bit. But yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, in the beginning I like to hammer home the key that we're in by using home tones, so like the thirds, the fifths, the roots. So like a 3, 1, 3, 2 sounds kind of good. Could go for a more dynamic range. It could go can't think of a good idea, I'll just bring it all back down. So kind of what I'm doing here is trying to not keep everything too squished in terms of intervals, but trying to still have some sort of pull towards the root of B flat. So, well, it's like home tone, but then it's like root note, but I'm doing it intentionally not on the strongest beats. This is the strong beat, beat 3, to let you know, like, hey, we are definitely in B flat. But then I want to start pushing and pulling a little bit, like how none of these beats are on the downbeat. It makes it so that hitting A and then moving to something else would start, you know, it feels like, or sorry, B flat, A sharp, same thing. That hitting B flat here, for instance, would feel like it's just a passing note. So let's see what that sounds like. Yeah, that's like 2 on the nose, 2, 3. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I want it to be memorable, hummable, catchy. Yeah, like something about this now that I've moved it around doesn't feel as good. It's because like this is sitting here. And I know I'm kind of like messing with the motif now, that I'm like switching around some of these things last minute. This is the weird thing that happens sometimes, is it sounds cool. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Maybe that's what it's missing, is like this dun 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 dun. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Like this motif is really these two notes. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. And this is a modification of this. Because if I didn't have these two 16 notes. so the metronome's kind of helping with the beat. Okay, so maybe that helps. 2, 3. Do, do. Five, 2. This is the hard part for me too. Because once I have like a cool rhythm, getting it to still be pleasing is kind of tough. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sounds slightly better. That's kind of nice. That's something. That's something to work with. I think I need to look at how Toby likes to write certain melodies sometimes, because, and obviously not to rip them off note for note, but just to get a better understanding of like how he tells a story through his songs, because you know, pitch matters, rhythm matters, both of them matter a lot together. And maybe now hearing the pitches and hearing how kind of erratic this can kind of sound. Oop. Let's clone it. Let's try another idea. Might have spoken too soon about it feeling like I hit the rhythm jackpot early. Because this is what happens. Then I start changing the pitches and I'm like, I'm not really feeling a compelling melody here. Like the rhythm's cool, but it's also, the notes are also feeling a little all over the place. Da, 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 da. That's like a interesting one. That's like a lot of stuff is still on the downbeats, which we could feel a little bit more grounded. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh. Dun, 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 dun. That one at least sounds like it's got more foundation to it, more grit. Like if this was 3, oops, 3 to 5. Doo-doo. That's not bad. Mm. What if I brought it up here? Yeah. Like this would be the question and answer. Yeah, that's like a simple question and answer. But the only problem is that I feel like this isn't very bombastic, uh, fighty energeticness, or like craziness. Yeah, like... It's something. It's something. Now I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole of making a bunch of different melodies. I mean, this is all part of the process, is just literally throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks, right? Yeah, I don't know. What other Toby Fox songs am I interested in? Petal Dance was literally, I think, the battle theme, so a lot of it's on the upbeats. That one's faster though. That's definitely over 120 beats per minute. Yeah, he just makes like simple ideas, but they sound so effective. Hmm. Dun, 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 dun. From like Sunset of Seven Suns is just that 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 that. Hmm. I've already made da 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 da. I guess that could be da 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 da. Yeah. I feel like for this, it wants to be. Yeah, I feel like something more upbeat will be more appropriate for What I'm thinking of is like a battle theme that has like some emotional B section to it. Yeah, it's tricky. Tricky. I think I need to spend some time with this and figure out what exactly I want it to be, because I feel like right now I'm torn between wanting to create the emotional melody, which I feel like is kind of the B section. But maybe I need to push it further. I'm not sure. That, and then trying to create like some cool something or others track, but yeah, I'll have to maybe dig in a little bit more to some research and really dissect, like, what are these motifs doing that Toby creates. I feel like there's more space between stuff. I don't know. But I'm going to sleep on it, I think. Cool that I came up with some nice rhythm ideas. Maybe I need to take a step back and look at Toby's motifs just a little bit more. See how they're like written on like Muse score. And try and see what I can dissect from them as to why they're so memorable. Like, they have space, but they have energy. They have movement, but they're also not super complex. And a lot of times they're just like repeated notes that don't jump too much, but then there's also tracks like Megalovania where they definitely jump around a lot. So yeah, think my brain's a little fried. So day one, I'd say pretty good overall. I'll call it off here. Yeah. See what day two has in store. I'll do some more research in the meantime. See you later.